Welcome to Making Music with Miss Whitney. Today we are going to be talking about rhythm, and I'm going to show you how to write notes so that they can represent the duration of different sounds. And to start, let's talk about pulse or beat. When you're listening to a song, sometimes you're clapping to it, sometimes you're tapping your foot, and you kind of get with the groove. That's going to be your beat. So sometimes they're fast, sometimes they're slow, but each one of those claps or taps is called a beat. The first one we're going to talk about is the whole note, or in Great Britain they will call it the semibreve, and this gets 4 counts. So you'll hear 4 beats when you are playing your instrument or singing, and you would be holding it down for 4 beats. So if your beats are 1, 2, 3, 4, you'd be holding down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then off. And you'll see that it is printed kind of with thicker sides on each side, but if you're just writing freehand and you draw a circle without a stem, people will know that you mean a whole note. This is a half note, and in Great Britain they would call it the minim. And this is what it looks like. It's open, it's not colored in, it does have a stem, and it gets 2 counts, 2 beats. So you would hold your instrument, you would be playing your instrument or singing for 1, 2, and then off. You would hold it for 2 beats or 2 counts. This is called the quarter note, or in Great Britain, the crotchet, and it is colored in all the way with a stem. And this gets 1 count. So each beat is going to represent one of these, or one of these is going to represent each beat. So you would count 1. And you get off your note. 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, but what if you want to have a beat, a note that represents 3 counts? Well, there is a rule that if you have any sort of a note and you put a dot next to that note, it is the value of that note plus half of that value of that note, and that is what equals the count of that beat. So if I wanted 3 counts, I would do an open note head, making it a half note or a minim, which normally gets 2 counts. But with the dot, I am now taking that note, dividing it in 2. So what is 2 divided by 2, or what is 2 halved? It's 1. So that means that this with the dot would equal 3 counts. Let's try it with a whole note or a semibreve. So how many counts does this get? It gets 4. If I put a dot next to it, what is half of 4? 2. 4 plus 2 equals 6. So this would be 6 beats. For us to review so far, we have a quarter note or a crotchet. We have a half note or a minim. We have a dotted half note or a dotted minim. And we have a whole note or a semibreve. This one gets 1 count, 2 counts, 3 counts, and 4 counts. I'm going to talk briefly about where you would put the dot if your note is on a space versus if it's on a line. If it's on a space, it goes right in the middle of that space. If it's on a line, it goes above this line in the middle of the space above. So here we have our whole note, or semibreve, and I would like to fit 2 notes into this. So I know that this equals 4 beats. If I was to split that halfway evenly down the middle, if I was to split up those 4 beats, we would have 2 and 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. I could fit 2 half notes or 2 minims in this whole note. 2 plus 2 equals 4. If I were to split just one of these half notes into 2, I would say 2 beats split down the middle is 1 and 1, which would give me 2 quarter notes. I'm going to do it to the other side so you can see that if you're looking at this, you can see that 2 half notes fit into 1
whole
quarter
note.
note, or 2 quarter notes fit into 1 half note. 2 half notes fit into a whole note. 2 quarter notes fit into 1 half note, or 4 quarter notes fit into 1 whole note, because this is 4 counts and you have each one of these representing 1 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. But what if I wanted to go further? What if I wanted to take 1 quarter note and split that up? How would I take 1 beat and split it up? You would end up with half beats, and those look like this. This is an 8th note, or a quaver, and you would have 2 that would fit in 1 beat. They would each be a half of that beat. So you would see that you would need 8 quavers, 8 eighth notes to fit in to 1 whole note. And each one is going to be colored in with a stem and a flag. If you have 2 eighth notes in 1 beat, you would connect them like this. And then you would know that these 2 represent having a flag on both of these notes. To demonstrate this, I'm going to keep a steady beat with this finger, and then with this finger, I'm going to show you what the 8th notes would look like. If this is my beat, you would have 2 that would fit inside that 1 beat. So here's my beat. And that's how you would fill up that quarter note beat, but having 2 inside. So let's demonstrate this with everything that we have so far. We are going to take the whole note first. This is my beat, and this is my instrument or my voice, whatever sound is coming out. Here's my beat, and here I go with the note. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. I will show you a dotted half note, which is 3 counts. Here's my beat, and here I go. 1, 2, 3, off. Here's my half note, which gets 2. Here's my beat, and here I go. 1, 2, off. Again, 1, 2, off. Remember, with each quarter note is on the beat. So if this is my beat, here's my quarter note, 1, and that's it. If I wanted to repeat 4 quarter notes in a row, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4. To sum up our rhythm chart, we have a whole note that's 4, we have half notes that are 2 each, quarter notes, one each, and our eighth notes that are half of one beat. In addition, we have our dotted half note, which is 3 beats.